Hello everyone, and welcome back to the perk analysis, or like the patch analysis, and we got a little bit of a developer update, and this might be really interesting. So there were changes from the PTB to the live servers. If you've been following the history of DBD patches, that is something that doesn't happen very often. Like, for example, with the Trickster, everyone was pointing out during the PTB that Trickster is a bit of a joke, and nothing changed. So this is another good change, seeing like something happened by the DBD dev team, actually listening to the community again. So what changed? First of all, the progression. So they have removed the blood point caps of the categories. So far, you could only get like 8,000 objective points, and you now can get 10,000, which should do two things. First of all, you can gain more blood points per match, not 32k per cap, but 40k cap. And at the same time, you can also, like, you get more value out of being like really efficient at doing gens or being good at chase or something. So you just get more blood points in general if you like do something in that match, which is just generally a very good and nice update. So in the future update, they will also revisit the perk notes after prestiging. So the way it is right now in the PTB is when you hit level 50, you're forced to prestige. And that costs A, 50k blood points, and B, you get thrown back to baby blood webs, which are very small, which isn't necessarily an issue. However, the issue here is that you only get like the low rarity items, add-ons, whatever. So for example, if you main a killer like Billy and you really need that green engravings to keep playing him and have fun playing him, you will have to like fight yourself through all these blood webs to be able to find them again, which is arguably very annoying and horrible. So these forced prestiges is something they want to keep, however. They reduced the cost of prestiging to 20,000 plot points, which is definitely also a good thing, like arguably. I don't know, I don't see why we need this cost overall, since it's not optional. Like in general, I think optional prestige is the way to go, not forced prestige. That's kind of horrible. And they do raise the blood point cap to 2 million blood points, which is also quite comfy if you think about new killer or survivor releases where you want to just get them up there as fast as possible. On top of that, if you're a content creator, if you're a streamer, we often run into that issue that we run into the blood point cap midstream, and then we stand there and then we have to like spend all the blood points, and it's kind of boring and no one wants to see that. So this is cool for like definitely for content creators, but I guess for everyone, just not having to pay attention as much to that limit. I'm sure in about 3 months we all will complain about the 2 million blood point cap issue, but it's better than it was before, definitely. The catch-up mechanic changed a little bit. Now you get 2 after change prestige levels for 1 before change prestige level, which is pretty cool, because that means like we're on the same level of getting bloody cosmetics, right? So gameplay changes. The most important one is probably the endurance effect. So in the PTB, people started to stack endurance effects and tanked like 4 hits per person, which is a bit problematic, arguably, because you could single-handedly force a killer to drop a survivor. I was about to call out the Mad Grid meta. Now they changed that. First of all, after you get the deep wound effect, meaning like, for example, if you have BT and that triggered, you get in the deep wound status where you have to mend before you can heal. Or for example, if you play against a Legion, you know that thing. If you play against a Deathslinger, you won't be protected by endurance anymore. For example, with Off the Record. Now this provides a new issue, doesn't it? What is with Legion? What is with the killers that can already cause that? Could they abuse that in a way? I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think there's also a Pinhead add-on that could do that, and that could prove really problematic. Then there is, that's like the most important thing, right? You can now not have multiple endurance effects protecting you at once. Another question is how does that affect, for example, Metal of Man? Because Metal of Man never gave you a deep wound effect after tanking. So does that still work? Was that basically a shadow nerf to Metal of Man again? We'll see. We'll definitely see. They changed a couple perks too. For example, Spine Chill now has the has an extra indicator for terror radius, which is pretty cool for people with hearing disabilities, I would say. Like that's what they were trying to bring back of the perk. On top of that, they say that they will remove that in the future when they add like a better solution for people with hearing disabilities. I generally think that's a really good change, either because you want to use it like while having hearing disabilities, or just because you don't want to listen to the game audio and you rather listen to loud music, and you have like this indicator now, and it will be probably even better in the future if it doesn't have to be a perk. Now, Dead Hard, they reduced the time of that effect, of the endurance effect that Dead Hard gives you by 0.5 seconds. So you need to be more precise with the timing. Now again, does Dead Hard still protect you if you're already in the deep wound? Because they don't make a difference. Like the way they say it, as a result, the endurance effect will no longer protect you from going down if you already have the deep wound status effect. Now, they don't make a difference between the endurance effect where you get into deep wounds and the endurance effect where you don't get into deep wounds. Like, for example, with Medal of Man. So Dead Hard now useless after you have been hit once. That's a bit of a questionable change, but I mean, we'll see how that plays out. Off the Record gets the new D-Strike treatment as well. The perk will deactivate and remove its effects once the gates are powered. Meaning, not only will you lose the endurance effect, you will also lose like the no moaning effect. I'm not sure if I like this, like generally, because like everyone throws away BT now, right? Because BT is now base kit, we got Off the Record. But what about endgame saves? Maybe they want to make the endgame a little bit more lethal. Because like as in the current meta or in the current situation, if someone has BT, there is no way a M1 killer is able to protect a hook. Like if survivors play it half decent and they know how to do a save, there is literally no way an M1 killer can protect a hook if there's 2 or more people trying to get that unhook. So that might make the whole situation a little bit more lethal. Interesting. So with all endurance effects, the effect is cancelled prematurely if you perform a conspicuous action. So that too. Off the Record is a lot less strong now with these changes. Then we got Overcharge, and that was also very necessary. It went from 100% to 400% speed, which was very extreme. We saw videos where Gen ticked down within seconds, and that's just mental, especially when paired with Call of Brine. They toned it down for the release from 75% speed to 200% speed over the course of 30 seconds, and Overcome becomes faster than the default regression after only 12 seconds. And it can still be combined with Call of Brine. So you start with 275% up to 400%, which is arguably better than what we had before with 600%. It's still strong. I'm not sure if I like the general effect of things getting worse over time, but let's look at that. I'm not sure. I think that might even be a good change to make it less horrible. It won't really stop the gen regression meta, but it is something. Botany Knowledge now provides a efficiency penalty to medkits, meaning if you use the perk and you use a medkit, you will get like less heal out of it as if you wouldn't use the perk. So let's say you have a brown medkit and you could heal yourself fully. If you use Botany Knowledge, you will heal yourself a lot quicker, but you can't heal yourself fully anymore because you lack the charges to do so. That's a very, very interesting solution to the problem. I'm not sure if that kills the perk or if it, like, they just wanted to have more interaction and less, I'ma just heal myself real quick, ideally doing chase. So I think it's a good change too, but now there is not that many reasons anymore to run Botany Knowledge over similar perks, in my opinion. It's still strong, like it's still definitely strong, and probably still worth running. Now then we got Distortion. Distortion now makes a sound effect when you lose a token. Again, like a thing that I would have rather seen than this would be just make Botany Knowledge only like not work with medkits. Like have it have no effect on medkits, but work on every regular heal. And we know this mechanic works, and they know about this mechanic because they have used it before with other perks. Like that's not a new mechanic for them. I think it is solidarity that works like that. Whenever you heal without a medkit, you get like charges, for example. So they can do the mechanic. I'm not sure why they didn't. I'm not sure why they took that efficiency penalty to medkits. But it is what it is. So Iron Will, they didn't change the perk itself. However, they will, as they say here, in a future update, they will be reviewing the volume levels of each survivor's grunts to ensure that each of them can make use of this perk. Now this is interesting. It would be great if we could put all survivors on the same audio level, like make all survivors like the same noise level. Make Ace louder, make Jane and Jeff a lot less loud. Like I might even start playing Jeff and Jane then, because right now they're just so loud that I have trouble thinking. Well, yeah, like this is really, really good news. Then we got Inner Focus. Now they removed like the range of seeing other people's scratch mark. I'm not sure why they started with a range to begin with. The perk seems very insignificant to me. Maybe I'm not seeing something, but like whatever. It seems like a useless perk, and I don't think it'll do much. Then another thing that people complained about was the cosmetic rewards. We have like the unique perks as a charm. They now have a bit of a golden border to look a little bit less like low effort. They still are though. And we got the character portrait effects, which went from nice plague puking on them to at least something looking kind of reddish. So not entirely horrible. And that's it for the update. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.